Yeah, there was no indoor dining for food. And, I noticed certain places like, there was a little, I wouldn't call it a sports bar, but there was like a bar. And, they weren't following the, the close downs, man, the shutdown. I would pass by on my way to work, and I would pass by on my lunch breaks from work. And me and another employee had seen that they were totally not following the shutdown. Okay, the stay-at-home orders. A lot of people were, inside and outside the bar, pretty much had the whole street, active, just for like one or two bars on that street. People were out drinking. I wouldn't say drinking in the street, but they were, outside the bar. They have like patios, but people weren't following, that shutdown order. And the sheriff, he's saying, you know what? I'm not gonna pretty much come against these people. Let's read what he says. Just a day after Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco told California Governor Gavin Newsom that his department won't be blackmailed, bullied, or used as muscle, right? Because, that's against certain people's morals, okay? It's against, certain people's, way of life, their means to support themselves. Because who these shutdowns, stay-at-home orders is really harming is, people with their own businesses. People that don't have a job where they work for a employer. They work for themselves. So if Esau were to mess with them, the cops were to mess with them and say, hey, where are you going? Who do you work for? And they say, well, I work for myself. The cops might say, well, you're supposed to be at home. When I was working, my employer actually gave me paperwork, which I still have to this day, for the last shutdown, the last stay-at-home order. My employer was giving all of the staff, my fellow employees, and myself, paperwork showing that we were essential workers, that we traveled. So in case we got pulled over or messed with, all right. And going back to the Turlock, California thing, the sheriff out there, I guess, was saying he himself wasn't gonna enforce the stay-at-home order or the shutdown because a lot of these businesses, they're not owned by big franchises. There's a lot of businesses out there in that town. It's a very small town, and they're mainly entrepreneurs, family-owned businesses. The businesses there are mainly they're mainly Portuguese, Italian, and Assyrian owned, family-owned businesses, and they've been there for centuries. So that's not only harming the economy of that town, but it's also harming the survivability of those families.